At just 11 years old, Ethan Cole was unlike any other child in a small town. While other kids spent their afternoons playing video games or riding bicycles, Ethan sat quietly in his room, surrounded by books about physics, astronomy, and artificial intelligence. His parents often found him awake late at night, sketching strange equations across notebooks far beyond his school level. Teachers called him gifted. Scientists would later call him extraordinary. But Ethan's story didn't begin with fame. It began with loneliness. At school, nobody understood him. Classmates laughed when he talked about black holes and quantum computers. During lunch breaks, he usually sat alone under a tree, reading books meant for university students. Even teachers struggled to answer his questions. One day, during a science class, Ethan shocked everyone. His teacher was explaining how electricity moved through circuits when Ethan suddenly raised his hand and said, "Actually, there's a more efficient way to reduce energy loss." The classroom burst into laughter, but Ethan walked to the board and filled it with complicated diagrams and calculations. At first, nobody understood what he had written, but the school's senior physics teacher, who happened to pass by the classroom, stopped and stared in silence. The room became completely quiet. Next, this because the formula Ethan had written was similar to an experimental energy model being researched by professional engineers. And Ethan was only 11. News about the child genius spread quickly. Soon, local newspapers began writing articles about him. Universities invited him to attend advanced lectures. Scientists wanted to test his IQ. The results stunned everyone. Ethan's IQ was reportedly higher than some of the world's greatest minds. But fame came with pressure. Television interviews, endless questions, cameras flashing everywhere. Ethan slowly became trapped inside the world's expectations. People no longer saw him as a child. They saw him as a miracle. One night, after a major interview, Ethan quietly asked his mother, "What if one day I disappoint everyone?" For the first time, the genius who amazed the world sounded afraid. His mother smiled gently and replied, "You don't have to carry the world on your shoulders. You're still a kid." Those words changed him. Instead of trying to prove he was the smartest person alive, Ethan focused on creating inventions that could genuinely help people. At 14, he designed a low-cost water purification device for villages without clean drinking water. At 16, he developed an AI system capable of detecting early signs of dangerous diseases faster than many hospitals. The world was amazed once again. But this time, Ethan wasn't chasing attention. He was chasing purpose. Years later, during a speech at an international science conference, someone asked him, "What made you different from everyone else?" Ethan paused for a moment before answering. It wasn't intelligence. It was curiosity. While others stopped asking questions, I never did. The audience stood and applauded, because the child genius who once sat alone under a tree had grown into someone who inspired millions around the world. And his story became proof that sometimes the people who feel the most different are the ones who change the future forever. As story